Friends, we're getting close to Christmas and we have been packing up your orders and shipping them out the door. I know some of you are going to be getting some great gifts. If you have not completed your Christmas shopping, please get it done quickly because shipping is experiencing occasional delays. The post office has not been handling volumes of mail very well. So please get your orders in quick, and you might want to choose either UPS or priority shipping just to make sure you get it. The rest of you that are outside the US in international territory, you might be a little late to get your presents for Christmas now, but you can still order them and tell your friends what they're getting for Christmas. We have a few new arrivals this week from our friends at Atlantis. This is the Blue Knight. This is one of the five Knights that were put out by Aurora back in the 50s and the 60s. This was originally produced in 1956. You can see what it looks like when it's all built up with the feather and everything. Interesting thing about this box art is from the 1960s. The original box art in the 50s wasn't this nice. And what our friends at Atlantis have done is they have acquired the Aurora trademark. So they are now using it on their model kits. And you'll see it on the box as well. Here's a look at the Silver Knight alongside the Blue Knight. If you're an Aurora collector, vintage model collector, figure collector, these are what you need for your collection. Let's talk a little bit about another Aurora reissue from Atlantis. This is the U.S. Bainbridge. It's a nuclear-powered guided missile frigate. And it's coming with a collector's card. I think that's kind of a neat addition that they're doing up at Atlantis. This kit has never been reissued since it was originally put out. And also from Atlantis this week, we have these 3 drag race cars. Now, I know you come to CultTVman to buy spaceships and monsters, but we've been sharing these vintage kits as well that have been reissued by Atlantis. All 3 of these kits were original monogram kits. Here is Tom McEwen's Mongoose Rail Dragster, Don Prudhomme's rear engine dragster, the Snake, and the front engine dragster. And we're back in the warehouse so I can show you some of the restocks from round 2. We have more of the USS Reliant. This is the improved version of the ship where they've made some corrections to the hull. It's molded in an off-white and it has clear parts for lighting so you can illuminate it. We've also restocked the Allies and Adversaries set, so we are going to take a look at what is inside the box here in a minute. These are all 1/2500 scale. As we move back here, we have the reissue of the Klingon Bird of Prey. You remember this from Star Trek 3. We haven't had this for a few months, so it's nice to have it back in stock. This is the improved version of the kit that includes the landing gear and a few other modifications to the wings. So if you haven't picked this one up, you need it for your collection. I know some of you guys are probably getting the 2001 kits for Christmas. The Discovery and the Space Station have just been restocked. We've had a hard time keeping these in stock, so they always sell out. We still have the Ares and a few other 2001 kits as well. Time for another look at what is in the box. Today we have the Allies and Adversaries set. Now this is a new box set of 1/2500 scale kits. Most of these came out in kind of other variations, but now we have them all collected together inside the box. Take a look inside the box and see what you get. On top, we have the Cardassian Keldon. Now, this originally came out with a reissue of Deep Space Nine, but there it didn't have the parts for the Keldon. It only had the parts for the Galore. You can build the kit either way using this model. Next up, you get what looks like two kits in the bag. It is the USS Reliant as well as the USS Saratoga. Now, the Reliant came out a few years ago in a box set with other movie era kits. And so this is the first time it's available as the Saratoga. And so there are some additional parts here so you can build the kit as the USS Saratoga, where it didn't have the weapons bridge or the weapons arch above it. And the wonderful Romulan Bird of Prey on one side and the USS Defiant on the other side. The Romulan Bird of Prey, that was a part of a set, a newly tooled set a few years ago of the TV kits. And the Defiant came out with Deep Space Nine. Also in the bag with the Defiant, molded in gray, you can see it there with the Romulan, is the Klingon D7 from the TV series. This was in the same set as the Romulan kit a few years ago. We get down to the bottom, and you have the Klingon D7, which was part of the movie set that came out a few years ago, and the refit NX-01. Now, the NX-01 originally came out in that box set of 7 Enterprise kits a few years ago. This version includes parts so you can do it as the refit NX-01 that has the secondary hull that is not on the version you saw on Enterprise. Then we get to the bottom, and round 2 is included their wonderful little stands to go with it. We also sell this scale small bases separately if you need to get more of them. And we get down to the decal sheets. Now, I've opened this one earlier, but we're going to take a look at what you get. Here you see the markings for the Defiant, as well as the Saratoga, the Klingon ships. The second sheet of decals has the NX-01 and the USS Reliant. And you get the full Aztecs for the NX-01. The last sheet includes full graphics for the Galore or Keldon, along with the Romulan Bird of Prey emblem. Let's take a look at the instructions. The instructions show you how to easily snap these kits together. There's the refit NX-01, the Reliant, and the slightly different Saratoga, the Klingon Katinga, which you saw beautifully in Star Trek the Motion Picture, the original D7 from classic Star Trek, the Cardassian Keldon from Deep Space Nine, and the Romulan Bird of Prey from the original series. Even more impressive is the decal placement guide. It is very detailed, telling you what colors to paint, as well as placement for all the markings. Now we can flip the box over and you can see the back of it, which shows you nicely built up versions of all these kits, where you can see the NX-01 with the secondary hull. You can see the differences between the Saratoga and the Reliant. And you can see the Keldon with the added upper hull there. Round 2 has really knocked themselves out with this box set. And I think we have more to look forward to in 2025. In the meantime, We have the NX-01 still in 1/2500 scale. This is a perfect companion to the rest of these ships. Probably encountered most of them throughout the series. The Enterprise D was originally one of the 3-ship set that was put out by AMT back in the late 80s or early 90s. This is a wonderful way to get started on your 1/2500 scale collection. All right, let's talk a little bit about the USS Cerritos from Lower Decks and the Strange New Worlds Enterprise. Now, I know everybody has been waiting for these kits. They were announced a year and a half ago at Wonderfest. The kits are on the water. They're on the way to the United States. As soon as they get here and get them shipped to me, we will have them for you. I am now kind of expecting them to arrive either right before Christmas or in the week between Christmas and New Year. Now, the Aztec decals for the Cerritos and the Enterprise have been delayed till January, so those will ship separately. There's supposed to be a light kit for the Enterprise, but that hasn't been officially announced yet. They said there was going to be a light kit and they want to get it out early in the year. As soon as I have information for that, I will put it on the website. We are about a month away from the Chattanooga ModelCon. This is a wonderful, wonderful IPMS show that they put on every January, early January, up in Chattanooga. And it's a nice centrally located place for anyone in Kentucky or Tennessee or Georgia or Alabama. You can get to it pretty easily. It's a big show. They have wonderful facilities at the Chattanooga Convention Center, and it's right next to the World of Wheels. So I encourage you guys to join us in Chattanooga the weekend of January 10th and 11th. And if you need more information about that show, check out the Chattanooga ModelCon website. So that's about it for this edition of CultTVman's Update. We will be back as soon as we have more information about the Enterprise and the Strange New Worlds kits. If I do not talk to you before Christmas, I wish you all a wonderful Christmas. Enjoy the holidays you celebrate with your family and friends. I hope that you have a safe and wonderful time. And take care. We will talk soon.